It's very interesting to see the unwashed masses on Twitter insist that nothing could possibly compete with Grand Theft Auto 6. The mindset among these ghetto gamers seems to be that Grand Theft Auto 6 is the main character of the video game industry, and that other games are scared to compete with it. I keep seeing people say this over and over again, while ignoring all of the very real Nintendo games that are launching in October and November of this year. It's a very interesting situation. I have described this as the last stand of the traditional PlayStation and Xbox two-party system. The hype behind Grand Theft Auto is the last pillar holding these two gaming platforms afloat. People are desperate for Grand Theft Auto to be good, because it has to be good, if the gaming industry is to continue the narrative that Xbox and PlayStation are better than Nintendo. If Grand Theft Auto was allowed to fail, or even receive a Nintendo port, there would be no reason to ever own an Xbox, PlayStation, or PC ever again. Nintendo would have won the console war so thoroughly that there would be no denying it anymore. Now, that is already true to a certain extent. The other major pillars holding up Xbox and PlayStation, Call of Duty, the online sports games, and the smaller third-party releases have bent the knee and started releasing on Nintendo day and date for a long time now. However, the industry at large doesn't want to admit that this is true. They still believe that Nintendo's successes are nothing more than a fluke, and that the industry will return to the way things should be, where journalists are paid off to give PlayStation exclusives perfect scores and push bizarre political agendas. Grand Theft Auto, to these people, is seen as a brand that is too big to fail. But is it really? The simple reality is that Grand Theft Auto is not the brand that people purport it to be. People often cite the 200 million sales figure to justify the idea that this is one of the most popular games ever made, but it simply isn't true. Minecraft, the one game that has outsold Grand Theft Auto 5, is being sold at a lower price point, is available on every major platform including Nintendo Switch, and, most importantly, has no potential for any future sequels. In short, the idea that units is the benchmark for success in this industry is downright insane. Pokémon is 10 times as profitable as Grand Theft Auto, and games like Pokémon Go went toe-to-toe with Grand Theft Auto 5 at the peak of its relevancy and made almost as much money as it with a fraction of the budget. On top of that success, Pokémon put out other games, other products, other ways to enjoy Pokémon. Grand Theft Auto only had Grand Theft Auto 5 and its microtransactions. Do you understand? In 2013, we got the release of Pokémon X and Y, and then Sun and Moon in 2016, and then Sword and Shield in 2019, and then Scarlet and Violet in 2022. We received a sequel to Pokémon X and Y before Grand Theft Auto 6 even released, and we will see Pokémon Winds and Waves the year after Grand Theft Auto 6 launches. Do you understand what this means? Grand Theft Auto 6 could make $10 billion day one and still not even come close to scratching Pokémon as a brand. It may outsell individual Pokémon releases, but it cannot compete with the fact that Nintendo can put these games out faster, on a tighter budget, and be far higher quality, and bring in money. The mindset that Pokémon makes money just because it's Pokémon is wrong. Pokémon makes money because it's an extraordinarily well-run brand that fans have enjoyed all their lives. No, it is far more accurate to say that Grand Theft Auto is only popular because it is Grand Theft Auto. That's all I can remember growing up. People don't buy Grand Theft Auto because they enjoy the story, the characters, or the gameplay. No. For most people, it's just a status symbol to look more adult. Most people turn the game on, run over civilians, and are amused by it briefly before putting the game down for good. The game has no cultural relevancy at all. The mere fact that the only reason people are excited about this game being that it make it a lot of money proves that. So what does this all mean, exactly? It means that Grand Theft Auto will not do what it's being hyped up to do. It is not going to be a death sentence for the Switch 2, and it's not going to destroy Nintendo. No, Nintendo will be releasing products before, during, and after Grand Theft Auto 6's release. It will not have any impact on them at all. Grand Theft Auto 6 will top the charts. But what will be at number 2, and 3, and so on? How exactly is Grand Theft Auto 6 going to destroy Nintendo? The industry yearns for an age gone by, where young children were desperate to buy and play Grand Theft Auto to look more adult. It was a fad at the time because of how edgy and counterculture it felt at the time. But much like The Simpsons before it, the brand has become the culture. And there will be legions of fans who will try and gaslight others into thinking the brand is still cool and with it. But increasingly, you are going to see people make astute observations about how the brand has fallen off. In fact, I have been doing so since Grand Theft Auto 4. The myth that Grand Theft Auto is the main character of the gaming industry must end. It is a franchise that appeals to casuals who don't play a ton of games. It will not impact the success of games like Nintendo Switch Sports Resort or the Ocarina of Time remake. In fact, I have seen some people on Twitter suggest that the pre-order date of June 25th would ruin the release window hype for Star Fox, which was launching on the same day. Considering how that game is slated to be the highest-selling game in the series, I think we can take this as a precursor as to what is going to happen next. Nintendo is not scared of Grand Theft Auto. They have given no indication of it. They do not believe that Grand Theft Auto is going to hamper their success, and they aren't even scheduling their game release schedules around it, in spite of the insistence of some YouTubers out there. No. Right now it's looking very likely that The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time remake is launching alongside Grand Theft Auto 6. Now, the naive thing to say is that Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to beat Zelda. That Grand Theft Auto 6 will sell hundreds of millions of copies and prove itself to be better than Zelda in every way. But I want you to think about this for a second. You are comparing Grand Theft Auto 6, a game with $1 billion budget that is running on the most cutting-edge hardware, to a remake of a 30-year-old Nintendo 64 game. Ocarina of Time will still be relevant 30 years from now. But will Grand Theft Auto 6? Considering how no one remembers even Grand Theft Auto 4 these days, I think not. These games only sell because of the illusion that they are the most cutting-edge games on the market, when in reality, that couldn't be further from the truth. Grand Theft Auto has not had the long-term success, popularity, and relevancy that Zelda has had. Kids today still play the NES original, and games like A Link to the Past and Ocarina of Time are staples for any serious gamer even today. In comparison, Grand Theft Auto 1 and 2 are completely forgotten, and 3 is outdated that no one today would take it seriously. These are not games that are innovative or push the industry forward. They are fads. They became relevant just when gaming was going mainstream, and audiences flocked to them in order to avoid playing the childish Nintendo titles at the time. But they have never truly excelled at anything they have set to do. Grand Theft Auto games are not good video games. No one actually enjoys the mission structure, the gunplay, or even the driving mechanics. Grand Theft Auto is only popular because it is a simplistic game in which players can commit violent acts in an open city setting and then run from the cops. That's it. Everything else the game offers is secondary to that specific purpose. Grand Theft Auto, at its core, is wide as an ocean but deep as a puddle. It does a billion things but does none of them well. But because the general audience for these games are filthy casuals who don't play many games at all, the fan base simply isn't aware that there are far better games out there. So we are in this curious position where games like The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild have surpassed Grand Theft Auto's open world a long time ago. But the Grand Theft Auto fanbase genuinely believes that somehow Rockstar is going to make their next game bigger and better than that. Never mind that Breath of the Wild launched years after Grand Theft Auto 5 and already had its sequel to the Grand Theft Auto Droogs. The long wait simply means that the game is going to be genre-defining. To put it very simply, Grand Theft Auto 6 is shaping up to be the next Cyberpunk 2077, a game that is being overhyped by the masses and the media because it is seen as the absolutely pinnacle of AAA game development. The game is going to be good because it has to be good, and curse you if you try and suggest otherwise. Even today, CD Projekt Red fans completely refuse to admit that Cyberpunk 2077 was a complete failure, and have moved on to glazing The Witcher 4 in spite of all the red flags screaming that nothing has changed. Grand Theft Auto 6 will not live up to expectations, but I think we can expect that most fans will blindly lap it up anyway, because these are the sort of people who put no effort or thought into their entertainment at all. As long as they can drive around in circles and shoot people, most fans will be satisfied. But if that's all the audience is interested in, what exactly could excite the fans? What is going to get people excited to play the game? Outside of sheer brand recognition, what exactly is anyone going to remember about the game? It's very interesting to me to see how huge icons like Grand Theft Auto 3 and Vice City are forgotten today, and I think we will see history repeat itself with Grand Theft Auto 5. When the new, shinier version comes out, the fans will move on like locusts having no true attachment or relationship with the previous outdated game. The way things are looking right now, Star Fox and Zelda are going to be major competitors to Grand Theft Auto 6 this holiday season. Both of these games are 30 years old and will remain relevant another 30 years from now. Grand Theft Auto will not. If Nintendo games are classical music, timeless, high quality, and endlessly enjoyable, Grand Theft Auto is a rap written for the lowest common denominator. It's basic, it's crass, it has no real artistic integrity or creativity. But the audience eats it up because they are supposed to. And they detest other, better games because they have to defend the illusion that Grand Theft Auto is the biggest thing in entertainment. Grand Theft Auto is an interesting case study because I feel it will be the last time ever we see a AAA video game maintain this illusion of being more popular and culturally relevant than Nintendo products. The industry is more excited for what Grand Theft Auto could potentially do than what it actually is going to do. As I write this, the price tag has just been confirmed to be $80. I can already see a lot of journalists coming out and trying to justify it after spending the past year demonizing Nintendo's $80 releases. The narrative will be that Grand Theft Auto is a game that actually deserves its $80 price tag, while Mario Kart does not. This is a mindset that I feel demonstrates the inherent bias in the gaming community. There's truly no telling what games will be the most successful or the most popular, but the community is determined to push this idea that Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be it. It's only a matter of time until a developer creates something that far surpasses Grand Theft Auto in popularity and relevancy, and the series will continue its slow, gradual descent into irrelevancy like Mortal Kombat, Doom, and Ultima before it. Grand Theft Auto 6 will not be some savior of the gaming industry. and players must learn to accept that.